Okay, so are we ready for the second battle, the second face-off between these two players? Because it's gonna happen and it's gonna be right now. We're gonna have on game 2 of this best out of 3 series taken from MLG Columbus 2011, another clash between these two awesome players. Spawning here on the south side of the Zelnaga Caverns, we're gonna have oGsMC, Young Min Chul, formerly known in Broodor as Iron, and now in Starcraft 2 doing very well, racking up a lot of money, and playing in MLG Columbus 2011 against this red Zerg that is spawning here on the north side. Evil Genius, EGIdrA, Greg Fields, tremendous Zerg player, such a solid player, and he already had experience in Korea, as we all know, played there in Broodor and also on Starcraft 2, so he is aware of Min Chul. He already battled against him before, he knows everything he needs to know, so it's time for him to just stand his ground and show us his skill and maybe take a huge win here. Would be tremendous to witness that, and probably will be a sign that EGIdrA is just leading the way and evolving his game to the point where he can resist the Korean Protoss, as he already did in the past, but we all know that it isn't that simple, it isn't that easy. But anyway, taking a look at the game, let's see what are the players going for. Probe from Min Chul, just taking a look around, checking what's going on. There's no signs of gas, no spawning pool yet as well. You might be wondering if he's gonna try any kind of fast hatch on the Natural Expo, so heading there with the probe, but there's nothing going on there. And EGIdrA answering back with a defensive stance, well, at least making sure that he's going to be safe against this harass by this probe or any kind of early pressure, going for the spawning pool first and this time grabbing the gas as well, so we might be seeing speedlings soon enough. I guess we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer and see. For now we have the couple of drones fighting their way to get that hatchery down on the Natural Expo. The probe from Min Chul is just trying to make sure that they won't be allowed to get anything in unless he says so, but seems like he's not very committed to it. Kind of a wide tangent there, a wide trajectory, allowing EGIdrA to just land his hatchery on the Natural Expo, and basically MC was able to keep tabs and take the information on when did EGIdrA went for the hatchery, and now he might be deciding accordingly. For now inside his base we have gateway into Cybercore. There's not much going on, just picking up the second gas. So apparently for now a standard build, and there's no signs that he's going to commit himself to a lot of pressure, at least on its early stages. Let me just take a look at how much did MC saw from this base. Yeah, he spotted basically everything, so he knows the timings and he might be considering his options now, try to decide which way shall he go. And now the probe will have to run away because the first couple of Zerglings came out, and it's bye-bye probe if he doesn't pull it from there, so hopefully a player of this caliber will be able to take that probe back home and keep it alive, helping out on the mining, I guess. But at the same time we have EGIdrA inside MC's base, taking a look around. There's still not much to see, but I guess that Min Chul will have to take care of this probe, of this drone, I'm sorry, because if he keeps hanging in here, he won't allow him to expand his build and keep going on and push further. And seems like that MC is quite committed to apply a little bit of pressure on the early stages of the game, getting 2 zealots already on the Natural Expo from EGIdrA. There's no defenses whatsoever. EGIdrA was even starting to transfer workers, but like this it's kind of complicated, and there's even a third one arriving, so they're just stabbing this hatchery to death and slowly grinding down the HP, and I guess that EGIdrA will have to put something out there. It has 6 Zerglings, 8 now, and Metabolic Boost getting researched, and you will need to get that thing done, or else you won't have much of a defense to keep that hatchery up, and it will be a huge rude blow onto his plans if he allows it to lose it like that. 2 more gateways on the main base, while we see the Zerglings finally arriving here. That hatchery was a close call, only 176 HP left, but well defended here by EGIdrA, pulling the Queen as well with some Zerglings coming out of the hatchery on the main base, poking at those zealots to the point where he's gonna kill both of them and the Queen is gonna survive. So well defended here by EGIdrA, keeping his hatchery alive, already has the spawn larva, and his economy is gonna start thriving now. Still was very close, as you can see, bleeding out that hatchery, and was kind of risky maneuver there. He didn't have much of a defense, but he was able to answer back in time just to keep it alive and kicking. Okay, inside EGIdRA's main base we have Roach Warren, so he apparently is going to transition into some kind of roach play. Let me just make a comment. I think that already several people made this comment as well. Seems like that EGIdRA on Zenlaga Caverns loves his timed pushes with the Roach Ling. We might be witnessing something like that. He's getting the Roach Warren and he might be preparing to make a push and apply some pressure onto MC. Keep in mind that this Natural Expo is really hard to defend. There's a lot of openings. It's hard to actually contain the movement, but it seems like that Minchul already has a lot of sentries, so he is expecting something coming out of EGIdRA there, while we witness EGIdRA already starting to clear the rocks to the third base. And well, it might be a bold, risky maneuver, but if he's able to stabilize the base here later on the rich mineral field, it's going to be a huge profit. Inside his base, let's take a look. No, not much for now. Getting more workers rolling, now putting out a lot of Zerglings and Roaches. Inside his Natural Expo, we do have already some workers on the mineral line, but not that much. He needs to keep working on it, and I'm pretty sure he's going to make some more, but for now, he's preparing a timed push, as you guys can see, and incoming Zerglings and Roaches coming all the way down south. Which path are they going to follow? Okay, Zerglings on the right, Roaches on the left, and he's going to probably try to force MC to split his force fields. Nice around there. He's going to grab a lot of those sentries. Oh, massive damage going to be done here. One sentry down, 2, 3, awesome damage, and the Roaches are trying to get a spot, pass on that line there, try to break the entrance and go into the mineral line, but no, with some force field play and nice building position and pylon position, they won't allow to, and had to flank all the way on the right side and try to kill as many workers as possible, focusing fire, getting another sentry there, and now spewing some of that acidic saliva onto what's left, the remaining forces from MC. But MC has a nice position there, entrenched on the mineral line and keeping all the shots focused on the Zerglings first, and then he'll go for the Roaches, I'm assuming, and just slowly killing the forces from EGIdRA. Seems like that EGIdRA is restless, and he's gonna send more and more forces down. I think he wants to keep poking at this place and harass as much as possible, with MC shooing away that small batch of Roaches, but there's more forces ensuing, and this group of Zerglings is gonna be able to catch all of these units off guard. They're not in the mineral line anymore, so the position is not as safe, but seems like that EGIdRA has enough, and he just said, okay, I had a lot of units lost there, I need to pull back, I did the damage I was intended to, and I'm gonna pull back, gonna keep him on his back foot so we can consider his options and decide to play a bit more defensive and just hold on to his economy and not push me, not come north to start destroying and bashing at my buildings, at my bases and units. And at the same time he just cleared the rocks, and apparently he's gonna grab a third. 10:30, so later than what we saw on game 1, and apparently he's gonna be working out of 3 bases pretty soon. Still no signs of gas, as you can see, so there hasn't been much of a need for gas, and now that he's gonna get his lair tech, he might be requiring some more gas to transition to the next layer of tech and units, so he's getting more gas grab there, and probably gonna see the same happening on his Natural Expo. There it is. While we see a small group of Zerglings preparing here on the corridor on the right side to enter, they're just hiding behind the shrubberies and maybe waiting for the right moment to advance onto that mineral line. But at the same time, I do see that oGsMC has been racking up a fairly nice army here. As you guys can see, sentry zealots and stalkers all advancing north, and at the same time we have EGIdRA just waiting for his chance to enter this mineral line and start roasting all of these probes. And here he comes, starting to poke at the pylons, but he needs to get into that mineral line and start killing as many units as possible. At the same time, EGIdRA was attempting to place his hatchery on the third base, but now with all of those units advancing from oGsMC, he will be forced to cancel it. As you guys can see on the picture screen, this small Zergling force is not going to be able to do much damage unless they run away from here. But at the same time, we have a massive battle ensuing on the entrance, on the access to the main base, to the Natural Expo of EGIdRA, with a lot of stalkers and zealots shooting down all of that roach force, forcing EGIdRA to pull a lot of workers and make a lot of spine crawlers. 4 spine crawlers there. EGIdRA knows that this force is quite solid, quite irresistible, and he needs to do something about it, so he's getting a lot of spine crawlers up to help defending. And with some force field play, oGsMC just pushing EGIdRA's forces back, but EGIdRA just retaliating, getting more and more units out, As you can see at the moment, he's making more roaches, another queen, and he's just bringing reinforcements to the front line so he can push oGsMC back. He even established a pylon here so he can warp in some reinforcements, but seems like that EGIdrA has a nice position here. He was even able to pull one of his spine crawlers all the way back down here to be in range to start poking at that pylon. Just got destroyed. MC apparently is not considering reinforcing anymore and is gonna come down south once more, while EGIdrA defended brilliantly this big offensive by MC and countering all of his forces, and apparently is now gonna try to answer back. I'm not sure exactly if that's gonna be the case or not. Nah, he's just leaving his roaches here. I think he's pleased to the result he had there. He was able to contain the harass there and withheld, stand his ground to defend against MC. Well defended there. Took a bit of a scouting there. Let's see how much did EGIdrA spotted from that main base. We basically spotted most of it. Missed this robotics facility, by the way. Was only landed there, only built after that Overlord got killed. And he has basically information on everything else while he goes once again for that third hatchery on the rich mineral field. Even establishing some static defenses here on this right side, right access to that third base. Plenty of spine crawlers, and at the same time getting more roaches out and preparing a lot of upgrades, glial reconstitution, burrow, and also the pneumatized carapace. So we might be seeing some more roach drop in the future, who knows. Seems like that EGIdrA is quite fond of this strategy. Inside his main base, let's take a look. Not much going on here. On his natural expo, we do have an evo chamber going down, so might be having some plan related with it. A probe advancing, but didn't went very further ahead than the third base, than the access to the third base, and seems like that EGIdrA is preparing to push down once more. Here comes all of the roaches from EGIdrA, advancing apparently to enter the right side. No, he's deciding now. We have kind of a dance here with the forces from MC on the left side and EGIdrA on the right side. I'm just waiting for the massive confrontation. Keep in mind that tunneling clause is still not finished, but he already has burrow, so that might be something quite useful, based also on the fact that MC just finished his robotics facility, doesn't have any observer to spot anything, and he might be able to play with it. But no, doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. We do have MC going back and forth here close to the Zelnaga watchtower, try to get a bit of map control, while we see plenty of the forces from EGIdrA massing up, gathering up here on the rich mineral field, and he already transferred some workers here. But incoming the forces from MC, EGIdrA trying to defend, mustering up his army, reinforcing as much as possible and keeping them on the creep, while there's more harassing coming from these roaches. As you could see on the picture-in-picture, not much damage was done, but still was a way of pulling all of MC's army back here, back to the south, to his natural expo, and delay his play a little bit more. Again, EGIdrA sending an overlord, checking everything going on the bases from MC, while at the same time we witness a big blue ball advancing here once again to this rich mineral field. Plenty of stalkers. How are we on the upgrades? One on the attack, and he's focusing fire trying to snipe that hatchery, and I think he's gonna do it unless EGIdrA decides to pull back. No, sniped hatchery there, boom, and now EGIdrA just deciding to pull with all of his roaches. Nice force field play containing some of the roaches, but the burrowing and tunneling claws being key on this movement here, and EGIdrA saving most of his units, while we have a small batch of roaches coming down here to the rich mineral field on MC side, and now trying to run away, just avoiding losing too many of those roaches. All of those units are precious at the moment. And now notice this very interesting answer by MC, because MC noticed the amount of roaches that EGIdrA has on his army. He's going to get some immortals mixed up with the Stalker and Zealot force, and as you guys know, those immortals just chew through roaches so quickly. But EGIdrA is gonna pull once more. Massive offensive here, as you guys can see. All the roaches trying to focus fire on all of these zealots, try to destroy as many of them as possible. At the same time, just burrowing to regenerate a little bit. That might be an option for EGIdrA, and he's just slowly shooing away all the MC forces. Very well defended, impressive there. And this immortal just came way too late to the party. Notice all of them getting regenerated now. EGIdRA's roaches are, let me take a look. For now they're on one assault, and we do see that MC still has a pylon there, and he's keeping tabs with his first observer on everything going on here on the front line from EGIdRA. At the same time, he's gonna grab his rich mineral field. He knows that he's been falling behind on the economy. EGIdRA just leading by a little bit on the worker force. He does have 5 more. It's not the biggest difference, the biggest gap ever, but still he needs to keep rolling his economy if he wants to get to that 200 massive death ball. And you're gonna have a big assault here. Seems like that EGIdRA EGIdrA doesn't want to allow MC to have his rich mineral field rolling, but MC apparently at the moment doesn't have much of an army. As you guys can see on the supply count, 152 against 107. That's a big gap. On the units, 21 Stalkers, 2 Immortals, 3 Sentries against 37 Roaches. This is a massive number of Roaches, and more ensuing from what I can see. EGIdrA is just getting as much as possible of that Roach force and gonna try to just mass up a massive Roach army. For now, he's been paying dividends, he's been working just fine, but ooh, I do see some Neural Parasite there. There's the Infestors. They're gonna get blend in, mixed in on the Roach Force, and with Neural Parasite, they're gonna be so awesome. Especially to gain control over those Immortals might be a brilliant option for EGIdrA. There it is, those Immortals are still going back and forth there in the middle of the Stalker Force, while these Roaches are still 1-0 on the upgrades. There's not much of an upgrade play for both players, and there's the Infestor, already has the fungal growth ready. How much energy? 105. I'm pretty sure the upgrade for the pathogen glands is already done as well, and basically is just getting ready to pull down and start smashing oGsMC's faces. This Nexus here on the rich mineral field is just working fine, still not saturated, but getting a nice boost on the MC's income. Actually, they're quite close both on worker count and on the economy, and meanwhile we have the Neural Parasite almost finished. I'm wondering if EGIdrA is going to try any kind of time push based on the moment that he's going to finish that Neural Parasite. Seems to be the case. He's just holding on, making sure that he's not going to lose this position on the Zelnaga Tower, so he can keep an eye on all the movements happening here from oGsMC, and at the same time he's gathering a lot of Roaches, plenty of Infestors. Ooh, massive blink on top of that Infestor, and now there it is, Neural Parasite with some brilliant force field play containing all the movements from EGIdRA's Roaches and forcing the Roaches to pull back, waiting for those force fields to fade away, to disappear. Nice play there. He tried to get a Neural Parasite on one of the Immortals, but didn't last long. And now incoming all the Roaches once more. Massive damage being done here with Neural Parasite once more on both Immortals, and both of them just racking up a lot of kills on EGIdRA's favor, while the Roaches try to get a nice flank around those force fields. Very well played here by EGIdRA, just slowly pushing down, and there's a big Roach concave. They're just wreaking havoc onto oGsMC's forces, and MC is just feeling that he's facing here an irresistible force. Completely relentless EGIdRA destroying MC and forcing him to just GG out of this match. Ooh, such a brilliant play by EGIdRA. Very good push, a very simple unit composition, some Roaches backed up by those Infestors, but he paid so many dividends, with EGIdRA taking the win on this second match as well, meaning that you won the series 2-0. Quite impressive. Congrats EGIdRA. Over oGsMC, it's not something that happens every day, so obviously he deserves it. Was very well played. He was trying to do his best, and he played very well on game 1 as well. And well, what can I say? He just defeated oGsMC on MLG Columbus. Respect for EGIdRA, and hopefully gonna see more of MC in the future. Better luck for him next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I'm gonna pick another one, and I'm gonna keep following with the uploads. See y'all later. Have fun.